and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So today's video, why the narcissist stops having sex with you. So this is something that I have been asked quite a lot, and I know that whenever I talk about this subject, it is so popular, you know, on the channel. It's actually probably been one of the most popular subjects, you know, that my videos have got views on. And that's not the reason why I'm kind of putting it out there, but it's just something that I realized that a lot of you have experienced and gone through and have found that it's a very strange thing. And I've got to say, it is a very strange thing to actually happen. And it defies all of the kind of understanding that we have about relationships and what they actually mean and what actually sex means, you know, to an individual, what it means within a relationship. And so it does really skew the way that we kind of look at it, the way that we interpret it, and the way that we understand it, especially if, you know, this relationship has been all encompassing, and it probably has done because that's what they are like. But this is what you have experienced is a toxic experience of what kind of bonding, what attachment actually is meant to be. Okay, so why does the narcissist stop having sex? There is a few reasons why this happens, and I think the most important one is not that they've got bored of you, not because they don't want you or find you attractive anymore. You've got to understand that the narcissist uses sex for a different method, for a different reason. So they use it to control, to manipulate, to trauma bond the supply to the narcissist. They use it very measured, and it's at specific times. Now, at the beginning of the relationship, you will find that the sex is amazing, it's electric, but it's also very addictive, because the narcissist at the beginning of the relationship is very much mirroring you, is looking to get you hooked on them. So that's why they will use sex as a way for you to be able to bond to them in that way. It feels really intense, it feels amazing, and then over time you'll find that it loses its potency as time goes on. Why? Because the narcissist knows that you are now hooked on them. They know. And this is how the relationship cycle of a narcissist goes, all right? So they get you hooked. They want you to want them. This for them, they find this electrifying as well. Can you imagine? This is like the best supply. This is why narcissists have a lot of sexual partners. A lot of them do. I'm not saying that all of them do. A lot of them do have that. So this is why they find this the ultimate supply, is that electrifying feeling in the beginning of a relationship. You will see that this intensity, okay, they want this intimacy and this intensity very early on in the relationship, yet it does finish quite quickly. So the reason why they want this is because, again, it draws on their supply. So as you know, over time, if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, this will dwindle down because they have you. They've got you where they want you. To be honest with you, narcissists don't really like sex. They don't really enjoy it. I know that's really weird, and I know how can someone have it so often and so much and look out for it in other people and not actually like it? Well, they don't. They don't, because for two reasons. When you have intercourse with another person, it's all about connecting to that person, and a narcissist can't do that. So all they're doing at the beginning of the relationship to get you hooked is just mirroring that all back to you. And so it's all about pleasuring you, actually. And then the second thing why they don't want to is because they don't want to invest. At the beginning, it might seem like that, but over time, it's not. They know that eventually this will end. They know that they know what they are doing, all right? So they know that this isn't going to escalate any further. And when they put all this intensity and emotion into it, they're going to have to withdraw it, and that person is going to find out. They are going to know. So that's why they don't actually like it. They need it. They need it for control. They need it for supply. They need it for validation. That is the only reason. Not that they have this urge or this emotional connection like we do. It's not about that. And also a lot of narcissists have attachment disorder, or they're not able to connect. They don't really understand relationships in that way. So their experience or their upbringing has been really dysfunctional. You've got also emotional incest that some of them may have gone through with other family members, which would have given you a little insight into why they don't connect in that way. Because in a relationship, you know, you start off and then you build on the relationship, you build on the attachment. But with a narcissistic relationship, it's the other way around. You're intense, it's everything, it is addictive, and then it becomes less potent as time goes on. So the narcissist never invests in getting to know you. The narcissist doesn't really care. They don't want that. What they do want is very impulsive in the moment. That's what it is at that time. And so there is no longevity in these types of interactions. Also, going back to what I was saying about these emotional incest and not understanding what love and attachment actually is, the narcissist becomes rather ambivalent or detached from, you know, the relationship or you as a partner, simply because they have no real understanding on how it is to build and bond with somebody. So they think that in order to get somebody to like them, it's all about sex, and it's not physical. You need to obviously put in the depth, the time and the energy into growing this relationship, which the narcissist will not do, because they have never had a person show them, or they've never had this, you know, healthy family dynamic. So that's why it doesn't happen. Then added on to that, there is also something called the Madonna-whore complex, which, let me tell you, is the most strangest thing, the most hardest thing to get your head around. Well, it was for me. It's about ultimately the attachment disorder. The Madonna is usually the long-standing supply, someone that the narcissist puts on a pedestal and worships, okay? And that might feel amazing to some of you to hear that a narcissist would worship you, but they can't desire you. You're not there for sex and connection and bonding. You are an ornament on a pedestal that is there for admiring. And that's it. You're not meant to say or do anything. You're a statue on a pedestal that is just there for admiring. All right. So you're never going to get the connectivity with a narcissist. If you are the whore, you are somebody who is, the narcissist will detach from you, but they will desire you. They will use you for that moment, and they will discard. All right, this cycle can go on many times, and you may feel like the narcissist is completely in love with you because it's so intense, but there is no longevity, and there isn't, it's impulsive, and that's ultimately what it is. And this can happen as well within, this is usually what happens if this is a male narcissist. If it's a female narcissist, it's the Electra complex, which is very much, I'm talking Freudian stuff here, that's why. It's a disconnection. It's about the male satisfying the female narcissist. You know, you will desire them, but the female narcissist, you are never going to be able to connect to her. She will give you pockets of little bits of increments and times, but again, this ultimately, what all these terms and phrases mean is that it is an attachment disorder. The narcissist is unable to attach to you in a healthy way, so there is never going to be about building that relationship, about being able to sustain it. It is always going to end. To this day, and I've been working with narcissistic survivors or people who have experienced narcissistic abuse for quite some time, and to this day, there has never been one successful narcissistic relationship. They're toxic, and they're given that name for a reason. So that's why the narcissist ultimately stops having sex with you, because of this detachment. And for them, sex is used as a manipulation tool. All right, it's there to control you because you crave it. And that's when you are powerless and vulnerable and easier to manipulate. That's ultimately what it's about. Okay. So guys, I really hope that this video makes sense, and I really hope that you're able to kind of get your head around on some of these terms and phrases and things that I had mentioned here in the video. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. It's a very strange one, but it is what happens, and it ultimately boils down to a detachment from others, and that's ultimately where the disorder lies. Take care, everyone, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.